These three wolves met a married couple in a moment of extreme need. They were very hungry in the forest, as being a small pack, they were not as effective at hunting. They will never forget the day when Andre met them while walking through the forest. Andre was amazed when these three wolves appeared in front of him. Of course, wolves at that moment perceived a person not as a friend but as a possible prey. But everything changed when Andre, instead of running away, took out a fresh piece of meat from his backpack, which he brought to feed other animals he had recently met. However, it turned out that these wolves needed food much more. So he happily put the meat on the ground and walked back. An ordinary person would have been very scared to see wolves so close, but Andre was calm. He knew that these animals were just hungry, and if he offered them food, they would ignore him and go to the food. They will even be grateful to him, and that's what happened this time. After putting the food on the ground, the man left, promising to return the next day to repeat the feeding. Gradually, he gained the trust of these wolves and decided that over time he will be able to teach them. And so it happened. Day after day, the man returned to the same place where he found the wolves, who were already waiting for him there and even came up to him to pet them. Friendly relations were established between them. Andre even decided to bring his wife, who also loved animals, so that she could meet these new friends. Time passed. And then one day the long-awaited news came. Angela finally got pregnant. The couple was happy with this news. They will finally have a long-awaited child. They immediately rushed to share this news with their pets in the forest. Andre remembers the day when he and his wife came to meet their beloved wolves and told them the news. Some may think that this is absurd. Animals do not understand human speech. But Andre is ready to swear that these animals understood every word and rushed at them, licking them. To congratulate them, this scene has remained forever in the memory of this married couple. And in the end, Angela had a beautiful baby girl, Sonia. That's the name her parents chose for her. Finally, the dream came true, and for 3 years they were happy with their daughter. They brought her the same love for animals, and when the girl turned 2 years old, she met the wolves, who were part of their family. It was an ordinary walk for this family, because they completely trusted these animals. By this time, the wolves were already 6 years old. They looked more mature and sturdy, even a little fierce, but as soon as Andre appeared, they turned back into soft puppies, who were glad to have the opportunity to meet a little girl. Under the supervision of Angela and Andre, they allowed Sonia to play next to them. They would never hurt her. This was repeated throughout the year. These animals became very attached to the girl, and the girl to them. It has become a tradition for this family to visit their faithful friends every Sunday after church. However, this story takes a dramatic turn when Sonia fell ill at the age of 3. The girl's parents were desperate, not knowing what to do. She had fever, vomiting, and diarrhea, so they decided to take her to the hospital, where they did their best. Unfortunately, Sonia was pronounced dead. It broke the couple's heart. They couldn't believe that she had left them. Her body was handed over to her parents, and the devastated family organized a funeral for the girl. At a local cemetery, all the villagers, including friends and relatives, came there to bring Sonia into the world. When it was over, they returned home, thinking that their lives would never be the same. 5 hours had passed when they were informed that wolves were digging up their daughter's grave. The couple wondered how this was possible. They immediately went there and found people trying to stop the wolves, who really turned out to be their acquaintances. 2 were digging the ground, and the third stood guard, demonstrating aggression towards anyone approaching. Andre couldn't believe his eyes why they were doing this. Everything became clear when the wolves finished and opened the coffin. What they saw inside shocked everyone. Little Sonia was lying in tears. The girl lost her voice from the cries for help, which no one heard except these 3 wolves. And no one could explain how they ended up in his place, even though the cemetery was located near the forest. But nothing could explain how they knew the girl was there and, more surprisingly, that she was alive. The girl was rushed to the hospital, where she was asked to be examined by other doctors since those who treated her initially demonstrated complete incompetence by actually burying the living girl. In statements to the media, the state attorney general assured that some lines of investigation had been initiated in the case of this girl. He assured doctors and hospitals will be tried for negligence. The main thing is that the girl was saved thanks to the intervention of these 3 wolves, and after a long stay in the hospital, she was able to recover. Parents will never forget the feat of these animals, and they will forever remain in. Sonia shared. This story once again demonstrates the wonderful relationship that can develop between animals and humans when people strive to understand them and give them the love and care they deserve.